Episode 452. Amid the continuous tiger-like roar of the flurry of punches, a sharp, dragon-like cry suddenly rang out. A flash of sword light, swift as lightning, cleaved through the storm of fists and stabbed straight toward Desert Dust. Amidst the shocked cries from the crowd, Huang Shaotian's troubling rain finally launched a powerful assault. This opening move was the Blade Master's ultimate skill, Phantom Shadowless Sword. Instantly, sword lights crisscrossed and fist winds howled. Han Wenqing absolutely could not ignore the Phantom Shadowless Sword. He immediately adjusted the trajectory of his Raging Tiger's Dance, meeting the Phantom Shadowless Sword head-on in a direct clash. This was exactly the kind of fighting style Han Wenqing preferred. At the same level 70, the ultimate skills are equal in the system's judgment. The difference comes down entirely to the player's real-time control. One was the Sword Saint, the other the Fist Emperor. Both the players and their avatars were among the absolute pinnacle of the alliance, but Huang Shaotian was currently in his prime, at the absolute peak of his powers. As one of the oldest players, Han Wenqing knew deep down, even if he didn't want to admit it, that he was no longer the force he once was. He drove himself forward, fueled by sheer willpower and an unyielding belief that he would never surrender. Even when the entire team was scattered, Han Wenqing's relentless, forward-charging momentum never faltered. Huang Shaotian was clearly feeling the immense pressure from such a formidable opponent. At least for now, he finally had no time left to spam text bubbles or launch his trash-talking attacks. In the end, their skills were judged to be equal, and neither player's maneuvers could gain the upper hand. But these kinds of combo attacks have a limited duration. The Raging Tiger's Dance came first, and the Phantom Shadow Sword followed. No matter what, the Raging Tiger's Dance would finish its attack first. And then, that moment arrived. The final strike of the fierce tiger's frenzy. Right hand forward, left hand back, fists morphing into palms. A blow of devastating power. But Huang Shaotian had been waiting for this exact moment. With a light backward hop, he slipped just outside the range of the shockwave. Then his sword light flashed like lightning. The follow-up attacks of his Phantom Shadowless Sword, which had never truly ended, came forward to block. This is Huang Shaotian's most terrifying trait, his ability to seize the moment. That's the ultimate weapon that keeps him at the pinnacle of the alliance. Even Han Wenqing finally felt he could resist no longer. Even the most masterful control and the most indomitable spirit couldn't overcome the system's cold, unforgiving design during the recovery frames of his Raging Tiger Flurry. But this isn't a one-on-one duel. This is a team battle. Huang Shaotian's troubling rain had already thrust his sword, but a mass of pale flame suddenly ignited right in front of him. This step was one troubling rain had to take. He'd leaped back to dodge the final strike of the tiger's fury, and if he didn't reclaim that ground now, his sword would never reach its target. Huang Shaotian saw the flame, but it was too late. His hands had moved on pure instinct, faster than thought. By the time he realized he should stop, his troubling rain was already committed, and that white flame was a sacred fire. The sacred fire from Zhang Xinjie's cleric, Stone Not Turned, landed. The 70-level ultimate skill was snuffed out the instant the holy flames touched him. The cleric, of all classes, has this one domineering skill. It silences the character and leaves the player speechless. Silenced and unable to use his skills, Huang Shaotian still refused to let this opening pass him by. He lunged in with a basic sword strike, catching Desert Dust in his post-move stun, then immediately retreated to seek temporary cover with his teammates. The field is now 5 against 4, giving Team 1 a numerical advantage. However, Chu Yunshu's Windy Rain has suffered a massive drop in health, and it cannot be recovered. Huang Shaotian's troubling rain was hit with Sacred Fire, unable to use any skills for 3 seconds. But the situation was even worse for Su Mucheng's Dancing Rain. Han Wenqing's sudden arrival shattered the first team's rescue plan. Now that she was eliminated from the team, Su Mucheng was locked in a close-quarters brawl with Wang Jixi, and she was clearly on the verge of being overwhelmed. In an all-star match, there's definitely a team captain calling the shots. But sometimes, when an individual player decides to go rogue and act on pure impulse, the captain won't come down too hard on them. After all, this is just for fun. It's a show. The audience wants to be entertained. and a lot of the players just want to cut loose and have a good time. In the regular season, where every win and loss is calculated, you might be cautious about using high-risk tactics. But on the All-Star stage, it's a whole different story. You go all out, no holds barred. Chu Yunshu's earlier aggressive play was something she rarely did in official matches. But now, she was going all out again. Seeing her close friend Su Mucheng being bullied by Wang Jixi, she immediately got reckless and abandoned the team. The Elementalist charged forward like a mighty war god rushing to the rescue. Yu Wenzhou took one look and thought, well, here we go. This kind of chaos was nothing new to him. As a veteran pro who'd been to many All-Star games and commanded many teams, he knew that when things got heated, some players just loved to go off and put on a one-man show. This kind of thing happened at every All-Star weekend, and nobody really made a big deal of it. What surprised Yu Wenzhou this time was that the first one in their team to start stirring things up was actually Chu Yunshu. This top player, famous in the circle for dropping the ball at crucial moments, seemed to be having a great time today. But then again, when he thought about it, if their team was going to have someone stir up trouble like that, Chu Yunshu really was the only candidate. On their side, Yu Wenzhou himself would certainly never do that. Huang Shoutin is his teammate. If someone else were in charge, that guy might just kick up a fuss. But with Yu Wenzhou holding the fort, Huang Shoutin would have to show some respect for his captain. Then there's Su Mucheng, a player who's always been about teamwork. Over all these years, she's never once sought the spotlight for herself. Furthermore, Zhou Zikai's skills are truly dazzling, but the man himself is rather quiet and reserved. His flashy playstyle is purely a matter of technique. His personality isn't one that seeks the spotlight. And then there was Chu Yunshu. She never really seemed the type to pull a stunt like this, but compared to the other four, she suddenly became the most likely candidate. And indeed, that was exactly the case. Chu Yunshu had already started playing her own game, completely disregarding everything else. This was practically a foregone conclusion in an all-star match. Sometimes, the match starts with a bit of fooling around, only for things to get more serious as it goes on. Other times, it begins with everyone playing it straight, but then someone inevitably starts to relax and mess about. The match today kicked off with an unusually fierce fight. By this point, someone had finally stepped up to carry on the All-Star Games' glorious tradition, and no one was going to complain about that. Seeing Chu Yunshu was about to charge, Yu Wenzhou immediately directed the others to coordinate. While it wasn't the best tactical choice in the moment, no one was going to seriously nitpick about it.